Hello people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sorin and today we're gonna review super tested vehicles. This time it's gonna be the Nemesis, which is gonna be a tier 8 medium premium tank, as we already don't have enough of them in World of Tanks. But I guess the vehicle is gonna have similar playstyle as the Chimera, and I guess are gonna be the same as the 122 TM. This is why those two vehicles are here for comparison, because well, the first thing that you look at is the TPM, which is kind of low. And on top of that, I put over here the FE202 because it's a unique vehicle. It has a lot of history. It was a tier 10, dropped down to tier 8, got buffed, got a premium status, and I guess many of you have this vehicle in the garage, and I'll just leave it here for comparison. But the Nemesis, what can I say about it? It has good enough penetration like other vehicle in this comparison. Your APCR pen is going up to 280, so obviously you're gonna have good enough rounds, and on top of that the HEs are having 90 meters of penetrations, which you can actually chuck one into the enemy side or enemy medium tanks or Borshik or Scorpions, as you'll meet a lot of them being tier 8. But the vehicle has kind of a unique alpha damage of 420 on a medium tank. I guess that's a fairly heavy hitter, like you'll do on a Chimera or a 122 TM. So the vehicle is right in the middle. But 16-second base reload time, it is not bueno, as I'll recommend trying to aim for as much as possible, trying to connect the shell. And because obviously if you're gonna bounce the shell or miss, obviously you're gonna be out of the game for, I guess, 14.4 seconds if you fully stack up everything. So yeah, I pretty much want to make sure that you're connecting your shell instead of dumping them like you'll do on an FE402, whereas if you miss or bounce the shell, you have like a 6-second reload to to have the next one. But yeah, another disadvantage is gonna be that this vehicle is not gonna perma-track like you'll do with an FE422. So I guess you have to improve the gun handling and the firepower of the vehicle to to actually deal damage inside your game. One thing I forgot to mention is the caliber of the gun of 110, which is fairly unique, and I guess you can overmatch 30mm place, which is good. You're having good enough shell velocity of 1000 on your AP rounds, and I guess it's going up to 1250 on your APCRs. Yeah, it does. I actually got it right without looking. Nice. But yeah, on top of that, the vehicle carries 50 ammunition, which is just better because you can carry AP, APCR, and high explosive squash head. I mean, you literally have 50. Actually, you do twice as much potential damage than the F because you carry the same ammunition, yet you have almost double the alpha damage. So I guess it's very, very nice on this vehicle, as you'll never run out of ammo, I guess. In terms of gun handling, this is well, the vehicle doesn't have really good news over here. It's not gonna be a 420 alpha damage kind of gun like you'll do on a Leopard 1, for instance. But no, this vehicle is gonna have the same gun handling as the Chimera in terms of the aiming time, and arguably is the same aiming time as the 122 and the FE422. But it's not a problem of having a big aiming time if your reticle is not blooming as much. But for this case, yeah, the vehicle is gonna bloom kind of a lot, the same as the Chimera. So obviously you need to use a vertical stabilizer if you don't want to aim for 5 working days. And on top of that, the dispersion, it's a bit bad. It is the same as the Chimera, but is nowhere as good as the 122, where you can actually snipe for weak points inside the 122. What is very distant about this vehicle is the 20 degrees of elevation and 10 of depression, which is pretty much you can play this tank anywhere where it will take your FE422 and the Chimera, which makes this vehicle very, very comfortable on a ridgeline. But yeah, whenever you look at the mobility, things are looking kind of in the backside of this vehicle, because you're not going as fast as the other vehicle in this comparison, whereas you go 40 instead of the 50, yet you can actually reach your top speed on soft, whereas 122 Ti barely can reach its top speed even on hard. So yeah, the vehicle looks very nice in terms of the ground resistances, in terms of the power to weight ratio, but the only limiting factor is the forward speed. So you want to use a turbocharger so you can move freely around the map. One thing I forgot to mention is the weight of the vehicle, which is kind of lightweight. I mean, the camera can ram everything in its path, whereas this vehicle, it's a bit squishy, and obviously you don't want to get run by a chimera or anything in this comparison. On top of that, your reverse speed is 16, that I forgot to mention, which means if you have a field mode and it's asking you to take the reverse speed, it's gonna be a big of a problem, because if you go 12 or 13 reverse, it's gonna be kind of a bit problem whenever you try to retreat from a flank. But who am I to judge? But look at those terrain resistances. This is out of the moon. I mean, you literally have the same resistance on swamps as a Chimera does on asphalt, which is crazy. I mean, you can literally take this tank to a swamp and drive, if it had top speed of 100, you'll go 100. Crazy stuff. But in terms of the armor, this is where things are not looking as good on paper, but whenever you look at the model, like, oh shit, this is a chieftain, right? But yeah, on the hull you have 70, which doesn't look much on paper. I mean, it's fairly much green, but side armor is 50.8, which means you can side scrape against 150mm caliber guns, and I guess 152 as well, which is really nice, really interesting factor. And the turret armor is 254, the same as you'll do on Centurion 1, but there is no Centurion 1 in this comparison. I will get to add it. But yeah, next, once again, limiting factor is the hit points, 1300 on armored medium tank. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment, but considering the other vehicles get 1.4k, it's a bit of an issue. And the V range is 380, which is the same as the Chimera, which is 10 better than the 122, but is 20 less than the FE422. So obviously you're gonna struggle to spot for yourself, and that's about it, honestly, about on comparison. But now, if you look at the model, well, this thing is versus 225. Well, you can see that the lower plate is 100. I mean, you can pretty much even penetrate it with HE. I mean, you can penetrate with this kind of HE, but with some kind of HEs you can. I mean, with this kind of angle, you can get some ricochet angles on your upper plate, but yeah, it's gonna ricochet here and hit right in the what is this, under turret mantle. So frontal weak point right in the mantle over here under the gun. A huge cupola on flat ground, but whenever you start to use your gun depression, and this vehicle has no gun depression over the rear, actually it does have 1 degree, which drops down to 0.4 or something like that. Over the side goes to around 7 towards the front of the vehicle, and whenever you are looking, you're going over the shoulder, over the track, is still 7, and whenever you are looking straight forward, it's 10 degrees. Now with 10 degrees, things are looking very serious over here, as by the looks of it, the upper plate is mostly of an auto ricochet. Turret goes to around like 280 on the cheeks. You have around 300 over here versus AP. Versus APCRs, things get a bit green versus the mantle, but if you just pick, shoot and retreat, I mean, this armor is gonna hold up fairly well, and it's gonna be a very nice vehicle for the experienced players. On top of that, you still have a big cupola to snipe, and whenever you are using, like, let's say only 6 degrees of gun depression, it is very visible and easy to hit. On top of that, on the flat ground, by the looks of it, there is like this triangle over here. Let's actually go for visual. That looks kind of awkward, and I guess you can penetrate it frontally with 200. but yeah, let's actually go back to live, and you can see that you have some space protection, which means I guess you can sidescrape versus 155 as well, but I'm not really sure if that is gonna help your nominal armor or not. But versus 150, yeah, things are gonna be very, very distant. You can sidescrape, you can play on a city, and I mean versus, I mean, your armor will hold up against some kind of low penetration rounds. Like if you pick like this, with your turret, actually no, like, wait, where is my turret going? Like this, it will not penetrate this side, but obviously you're gonna have the weak point over here. So yeah, the vehicle is gonna have, you know, good and bad spots, but obviously good players are gonna make the most use of the good things about the tank and not the bad. Now let's fully set it up. Let's actually go for module durability, because people are gonna shoot the gun. We're gonna go for a tiny touch better accuracy because we want to snipe. Oh yeah, here is the field mode that I mentioned. You are going 2 km/h slower for 3% camo, which is a good thing about the camo, but you know, I'll rather go 18. Actually, I mean, with the Chimera and FE, you have 20 base reverse speed, whereas this vehicle gets 16. I'd rather go 18 rather than 14. So I don't know why they did this to the reverse mobility, because obviously medium tanks usually get kind of fast reverse speed. So yeah, with 14 is still not going to be a problem, considering you want to use a turbocharger. And what do I want to put? I want to put a scouting slot. I actually don't think I want to scout as well, because yeah, things are not going to look that good. How do I want to say it? Well, camouflage, BIA, concealment. I mean, wait a second. By the looks of it, your loader is your radio man, which is gonna put a lot of pressure, considering you wanna use intuition on it. But we're gonna go snapshot. We're gonna go for recon, concealment, and it's a loader and radio man. So we're gonna put intuition, I guess. Okay, now view range doesn't look how bad. It's 411. Only by using those those kill actually. Let's actually put, you guys wanna play with padding and T, I guess. Now things are looking much better, 430. Accuracy went down a bit. Now it's actually perfect time to equip it. So we are gonna go for a full turbocharger LB, because we wanna go tiny touch faster. We wanna get into position faster. We wanna go for a rammer and a vertical stabilizer. Now things are not looking that bad, or you know, you can actually drop the turbocharger for an what is called an level 2. I believe most of you have level 2 mobility improve system, just to get yourself also a bit better dispersion, but it's not kind of a big margin at the cost of 1 km/h. So probably experimental equipment will be best, I guess, but you know, probably if you wanna use turbocharger, you can go for a turbocharger if that is your case, or you know, you can drop the vertical stabilizer and use the aiming unit, or whatever it's called, bounty aiming. Yeah, wait, not exhaust, bounty aiming, and you're having decent enough accuracy, I guess, and with 1800 DPM, I guess the vehicle start to take shape. Or you can actually, you know, if you're playing city map, you can go for a hardening build. With this, you're gonna go for a 1430 instead of 10, but I'm too lazy to switch things around. So yeah, there are a lot of builds on this. Like you can drop the rammer for vertical stabilizer, or I don't know, maybe like if you enjoy quickie baby content, you can go for vents as well, though I don't know what to say really. It is really depending on your playstyle. Do you wanna make this vehicle as a proper medium and just have the mobility, the gun handling, and the DPM to fight, or you just wanna you know, snipe with it and try to connect every shell. It is really on your behalf about what is your desired equipment. Obviously, whenever the vehicle is gonna be added in the game, there is gonna be people like Skill4LTU, Quickie Baby, Takilzor, Mainland that you can watch for better equipment and better review than I do. But yeah, this is only the first site with which I'm having with this vehicle, and before it's released, it might be kind of interesting if the vehicle is gonna be buffed right the day before it's released. I mean, it's gonna have, I guess it's gonna get buffed, but obviously I'm not really sure if buffing this vehicle is gonna make it OP, considering its armor. But once again, it does have the weak point here, low DPM, low mobility, so I guess it's balanced. And I guess it's a brand new British medium tank with something more special than the other ones. I mean, tiny touch better accuracy and a heavy hitting gun. Actually, I think it's actually the highest hitting gun from Britain as a premium, because the Chimera is not a premium. So yeah, obviously it's gonna be highest hitting gun from the British directory as a premium in World of Tanks. So this was the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you legends around with more upcoming vehicle content. Bye bye.